So today we'll continue model number 4. In the model number 4, we have discussed about the various points, input output devices, then keyboards, knob switches, incremental encoder, analog inputs, A to D converter we have discussed in last video. So successive approximation A to D converter we have discussed, and today we are going to discuss about the various display devices and digital to analog converter. So first display device, so it will start with the LED. So LED is a single bit information and it will give on and off or BG or ready or error or okay. So it will be indicated by a single LED. Okay, so therefore LED is one type of indicating device. Okay, so here we can see the diagram of the LED and it is connected with the output driver. So when the output driver it is a low, it is active low signal, so we can give at active high and active low signal. Okay, and the brightness of the LED it will depend upon the current flowing through it, and that current will be determined by I is equal to V minus VLED minus VOL, output low voltage. Okay, so divided by resistance, and in this way we can determine the resistance or we can control the current. Okay, this is about the LED. And then we know that 7 segment display, 7 segment LED, so there are 7 LEDs or one more LED it is used for dot purpose. Okay, so that you can use 8 LEDs also or 8 segments also. 7 actually it will start with the 7 segment LED display. So each digit has common anode or common cathode display. So it may be a common anode or it may be common cathode. In figure it is shown that the common anode 7 segment display. Okay, all the anodes are connected together and it is connected to the VCC, and all the cathodes that will be connected to the 7 segment decode driver. Okay, and you can control the display. Okay, so each bit if you want to glow 0 0 0. Okay, so except that G bit we have to ignite all the bits. You know the internal working of the 7 segment display. Okay, this is about the one type of display device. Okay, it will able to indicate maybe time, maybe measurement. Okay, so another display device is a liquid crystal display. Liquid crystal display. Okay, so LCDs are used to give to display various information. So advantage of LCD it will be it has a low power, then readable in bright ambient light condition, custom segments shape, any shape you can give. So in case of 7 segment display you will get this particular shape, but in case of LCD you can give any type of shape. It will require very low power. Okay, and hence LCDs are more popular in the display devices. So disadvantage is that it requires backlight for dark condition and not as robust as LED. Okay, the reliability of LEDs is more as compared to the reliability of LCDs. Okay, LCDs are used in LCD panel. So LCD panel may be a rectangular array of pixel and it can be used for alphabetic or graphical display, and it will be controlled by a small microcontroller. This is the advantage of LCD. Then there are various actuators we are going to use in the digital signal system. So various actuators output of the any microcontroller or any controller it is given to the actuator, and that actuator is going to control output devices. So actuators are nothing but you will get the various types of actuators, that is solenoid valves, relays, okay, or a plunger, okay, or motors. These are the actuators you will get. Okay, so one of the type actuator, it will cause a mechanical effect. Okay, solenoid valve, so current coil moves armature, you can see there. So armature is there and one plunger is there. When coil is energized, the plunger will be moved horizontally. So likewise the same operation you will get in case of solenoid valves. So armature controls the fluid flow or gas flow. So that will be solenoid valves are used to control the flow control, maybe water flow control, maybe gas flow control, or any liquid flow control. It will be controlled by using the solenoid valve. Solenoid valves, when we apply high voltage to a particular coil, that coil will energize and that will move the plunger and the flow will be on. Okay, likewise, and if we re-energize it, or if we remove the voltage, it will off and the flow will be off. So likewise you will get another electromechanical device is that relay is there. So relays are used for various control applications. You can control lights, you can control motors, AC motors, DC motors. In all applications, maybe DC applications, maybe AC applications, relay will be used, and it requires only very small voltage, maybe 5 volt, maybe 12 volt, 14 24 volt, 48 volt. These are the various operating voltage of the relays, but generally the 12 volt relay and 5 volt relays will be used. So relay, it will have a coil, okay, and there are NO and NC contact, common NO and NC contacts. So here is the one in diagram. It is shown that output of in device is connected to the transistor. When the output is high, transistor will be on, current is flowing through the relay coil, and relay coil will on, and it will change the NC position, normally closed to the normally open, and in this way we can control the flow of current from the output device. Okay, so this is about the relays. Then you will get motors. Motors are also one of the type of actuators, and it is an output device. It will give mechanical effect. So it can provide angular position or speed. Motors are provides angular motion or angular speed. Okay, it uses gears, screws, etc. to convert linear motion to the rotatory motion. Okay, so there are various types of motor we are going to use for controlling purpose. We are going to use generally stepper motors and servo motors. So you know the operation of the stepper motor, and you know the construction of the stepper motor. Stepper motor, it will have one stator and one rotor. Rotor is nothing but your magnet, and you can see the magnet is at the, it is mounted on a shaft, it is rotating. Okay, and stator it consists of the coil. It has, now in the diagram it is shown there are 4 coils. Okay, so the supply to the coil are given in sequence. Okay, likewise the supply is given in sequential such that the rotor will automatically rotate. So in the first figure it shows that is south north pole is a vertical. Now in the second pole, south north pole is a horizontal. South is on right hand side and north is on left hand side. Likewise again in the next power supply is again changed, then the coil is given to the vertical coils so that the position will be changed, and so on. If we give the supply, if we go on changing, so this is one of the, there will be again operations that half duplex and full duplex operation. You know the detailed working of the stepper motor. Okay, Another type of motor is a servo motor. Okay, so servo motors servo motors are used in controlling applications. The servo motors functions for the motor involving the use of feedback in a system. Okay, so feedback to the control the position or the speed of a motor. If we are interested in controlling the position, we can attach a position sensor to the motor shaft. So we can use motor controller circuit that compares the actual and desired position, which will give driving voltage to the motor, and then depending upon the difference between the position, the value of the voltage will be there. Okay, if we are interested in controlling the speed, we can attach the tachometer or speed sensor to the shaft. Okay, and again we use the comparator to compare the actual and desired speed to the yield of the motor driving voltage. Okay, in both cases we can implement the servo controller as a digital circuit or using embedded processor. We need a digital to analog converter to generate driving voltage to motor. Okay, so we have seen that is for motor controllers we require the digital to analog converter. Okay, so realistic servo control involves the fairly complex computation for the non-ideal characteristic of the motor. Okay, so there is a necessity of the digital to analog converter. So there are various types of the digital to analog converter. So digital to analog converter, this is called as the DAC, are the complement of the analog to digital converter. It is D to A, it is a complement of A to D. Okay, a DAC takes a binary encoded number and generates voltage proportional to the number. We can use the voltage control for the analog devices such as that servo motors, loudspeakers and other devices. Okay, one of the there are various approaches of the DAC. One of the simplest form of the DAC is the R string DAC. So in this model we are going to discuss there are two types of DACs. One is the R string DAC and another is a R to R DAC. So this R string DAC, it is look like a very simple R string DAC. So you can see the diagram of the R string DAC. So this is a very simple R string DAC and it is works or it is will look like a flash ADC. It contains voltage divider circuit. There are various resistors, and depending upon how we are going to apply the encoded data. Okay, if suppose there are three inputs are there, so all are the 0 0 0, then you can see there will be the all the inverted output, that is 0 0 0 is complemented and then the respective switches will be turned on. Okay, so binary encoded digital input is used to drive multiplexer formed from the analog switches, selecting the voltage corresponding to the encoded number. The selected voltage is buffered using the unity gain analog amplifier to drive the final output voltage. This form of ADC, this form of DAC works well for small number of inputs, since it is possible to match the resistance to achieve good linearity. It will be very simple and it will be implemented and it will be useful for the small number of bits. Okay, so however for the larger number of input bits, we require the another form, and that this scheme will be implemented by the another technique, that is, you know, that R2R DAC. So the R2R DAC, it is an alternative scheme, is based on the summing of currents in a resistor network. One way of doing this is as shown in the figure. Okay, it consists of ladder network, R2R ladder network. Okay, so the R2R ladder network, there are resistance ladder, there are 2R resistance and R resistance, 2R resistance and R resistance. This is a ladder and it is connected to a switch. Okay, and the output of this ladder network is given to the inverting amplifier. Okay, the current source into the input node of the op amp when the switch are in one position are the binary weighted. Okay, those switches in the zero position source no current, and the superposition of the sourced current means that the total current is proportional to the binary coded input. The total current is proportional to the binary coded input. Okay, the op amp voltage is thus also proportional to the binary coded input in order to maintain the virtual ground at the op amp input. Okay, so that is all about the today's video. Okay, so we will stop here.